This is Hot Mike. Hot Mike. On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning edition of Hot Mike rolls on. Hour 2. Dragon head football coach Steve Lockway will join us about a half hour to preview MSUM's season opener. Coming up Thursday night, home opener for the Dragons. Excited about that. So, Friday night, I'm half delirious because of the long day we had Thursday in Boulder, but I'm following numerous Twitter accounts, seeing what's going on with the high school football Friday night. And one caught my attention from our guy, Brad Anderson, who was calling the game between Maple River and Tri-State. And Brad tweeted out at halftime, I want to see what time it was here, 8:40. That should be your first clue. Halftime didn't hit till 8:40 on Friday. Maple River led Tri-State 58-36. They ended up being a final score of 82-58 in favor of Maple River. Ended up getting the win. Longtime coach Larry Fontaine joins us on this Tuesday morning on a record-setting performance. He sent me the stats earlier today. Ty Sealing, your standout, 27 carries, 389 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's a defensive nightmare for you on Friday night.
Yeah, and he played most of the game with cramps. He only ran 27 times because he was out most of the second half. He'd come in and run a play when we needed him, and then he'd come out and fourth down, we needed him again. He'd come in and run a play. The kid's just a warrior. He didn't play any defense the second half and wasn't in there a lot in the second half offensively either. We had a kid go down, and he had to step up.
All right, so let's go back. The game begins. Do you have any sense of a game like this was on tap, or when something like this happens, you're just along for the ride?
Absolutely had no sense at all. We weren't running it up. We weren't doing any of that sort. We just couldn't stop them. We lost a couple kids in our defense, and they just threw the ball. I mean, it's 9-man football. And we got the wide field. Jeez, the wide field, and we have 9 guys. We don't have cornerbacks. They just run. You blink, there's a score. Yeah.
So
it took 5 years off my life.
at halftime, there's no. I mean, what are you telling the guys? Hey, we just need one stop. Can we get them once, and we think we can win the game?
I threw my hat a lot. We went through every defensive position at halftime. Like, here's what you're supposed to do. And it didn't help. We won the game, but I mean, they had 1 or 2 stops in the second half. But I mean, give Tri-State credit; they're quick. Their quarterback was shifty. They have a quick kid in the wood, and I mean, they had like a 96-yard touchdown pass followed up by like a 7. I mean, they were good. They're quick. And we had no answer.
The box score for a defensive coach is a nightmare. It reads out like a video game as I'm looking at it right now. I know, but you won the game, so you have to feel positive. We won, right? You got to feel pretty good about that, despite whatever happened.
Right, correct. Yeah, we're happy we won, but today in practice we're going to work on our pass defense. we gotta find somebody that can stop the pass. So. It's all open today. There's a lot of open positions.
Tell me about T. Sealing's game and just what kind of player he is. We saw him in the first game of the season when you guys won your opener a couple weeks ago. When you have a game like that, what kind of attention does that do for a guy?
He's a great kid, a standout kid, a leader. He's got 4 D1 schools looking at him right now. And he could play D2 anywhere. He's a nice kid, great student athlete, giant young man who loves football. And, he's a leader on our team, and we just put the ball in his hands. We lost Carter Bosch in the second half. He didn't play at all. And he didn't play much in the first half. And like I said, he was cramping up, and he would come out for 3 plays, come in there for the 4th down play and score or get us at first down. And then we'd take him out for 3 plays, put him in there, and he'd either score or get us a first down. And, he plays standout defensive end as well. He's a 3-year starter, just a great kid, and we're lucky to have him on our football team.
How are you juggling that through the game, knowing he's battling cramp? Like, okay, we have him for one play, or like, are you talking to him like how many plays do you have in for us?
Yeah, he tells me when he can come in. He's a warrior. He tells me I'm going in. I'm like, you sure? Yeah, and then he comes out and put him back in, and yeah, he wants to win. He wants to, do well for his team.
What? Give me the reaction you got. Was your phone blowing up after the game? What were reactions afterwards when word started getting out that you scored 82 points and won?
Yeah, Josh Keller, my buddy who coaches North Prairie, calls and texts me, "Hey, you need a defensive coach?" I'm like, because he knows I in the past have been defensive coach. So yeah, I got a lot of crud. Jason Moneylaws and Hankinson is like, "Yeah, you guys play any defense at all?" It was a rough game, but defensively, yeah, I got it. It started as soon as the game was over.
Oh man, but you won. That's the most important thing. That you can come back and say, "Hey, we got the victory here. We're 1-1. That's all that matters."
Right? Yeah, we won. We played. We knew we have some solid offensive talent, and I didn't think our defense was that bad though. That was an eye opener. It was craziest game I've ever coached in 27 years. It was just nuts.
Well, you mentioned it. It's back to work today. So is it fundamental work today? What are you emphasizing on the defensive side when you're back on the field?
Fundamentals. And we tried a zone on Friday, and the zone didn't work. The zone did not work. So we're going to go back to man, and we're going to try fill some pieces.
When you're sitting in the game, I know you're coaching, but did you ever just sit back and say, boy, this is fun? I know you're not thrilled defensively, but we're going up and down the field, we're scoring. Did you just take for a moment and say, we're part of history here. This is going to be remembered forever?
Of course, yeah. And then at the end of the game, our assistant coach took a picture of the score, and yeah, I've never been a part of it. People think, oh, they were running it up. We were not running it up. We needed a score. If we didn't keep scoring, we were going to lose. And there was a point where I thought, my Lord, we might lose this game.
Was that the longest high school game you ever? I think it got done around 10 o'clock. Was that the longest game you've ever been a part of?
One of them, yeah. It was long. It was 8:40, and it was the end of the half. It was crazy. In the third quarter, we actually stopped them, and then we drove, and the third quarter was a normal quarter for a football game, but fourth quarter, not so much. It's crazy.
So you have Lemoore this week. You know how good they are. Expectations are going to be high again to score 70, 80. What are you telling your offense now?
Well, Lemoore is a juggernaut,
yeah,
and we need to get the Bosch kid healthy. He's got a hamstring issue. We have two quality football players, and I mean like all-state football players in T and Carter, and we have a good offensive line, obviously 565 yards, and we have a decent tailback in Preston. I mean, we have some offensive talent, but Lemoore is Lemoore. Yeah. I mean, we're going to go there and just hopefully we can stop them defensively. I hope.
You mentioned about T earlier about the D1 school sniffing around. This is a conversation I've had with different 9-man coaches, and I'm glad you brought this up. To see now that there are Division I coaches watching 9-man football, which you've been around forever, what does that mean now, especially in North Dakota, where there are kids this good now being discovered in 9-man football?
Dom, I came from Langdon. I played in Grafton. I came here to Hope 24 years ago. I had no idea what 9-man football was. To me, it was foreign, but I learned really quick. I learned really quick with the athletes we have here that they're just as good as 11-man. We just don't have two corners and two tackles. But our kids, we've had some standout athletes. Jack Irie's playing for UND. I've coached every Irie, and they're all awesome athletes. We've had other good athletes, Virtuals and whatnot. There's a lot of talent in this area.
I know.
And in the 9-man.
I know we visited when Jack was being recruited. Now he's out there. He's starting at top fullback. What is that like to see a guy you coach now playing and having such a big role for Bubba's team at UND?
I love it. He's a great kid. He's a role model for all of our kids. And I just seen him Saturday at his brother Joe's wedding, and Jack is small compared to Joe. And it was great to see him. Just lots of hugs and lots of, just outstanding young man. Gonna probably join the military when he's done with school, and just an outstanding young man.
All right, so it's back to the grind I mentioned. How long later will you think you'll have an appreciation for what happened Friday? I know you do now, but this is going to be something a year later this season when you're like, holy cow, that was something special we were a part of.
Always, forever, until the day I die. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be part of that game again. Something like that. I mean, it was just wild, back and forth, always. And I always have it on Huddle now. So when I get nostalgic, I can watch it on Huddle.
Well, don't watch the defense part unless if you're in a bad mood. Do not watch the defensive part of that.
Well, I've got to watch it today so I can try to plug some holes.
Lastly, before I let you go, what did you say to the team after the game?
That we won, and we're glad that we won. And we had them look at the scoreboard, and we took a picture, and we need to go back to the drawing board. They all agreed.
Was it a quiet bus ride back? Was it an electric? What was the bus ride back?
No, I wasn't quiet at all. Kids were happy they won. Kids are happy. We got a W.
Yep.
They're happy as heck. We got to work a little harder to get better. And Tri-State, they have a good quarterback, a couple of good offensive weapons, and they're going to give other people, heck too, I guess.
It's great to see you. Thanks so much for the time this morning. Congratulations on the win, and I know you'll get to work defensively. Thanks for the time this morning.
All right, thanks, Dom. Have a great day.
Larry Fontaine, head coach of Maple River, after the Raiders won 82-58 on Friday night. I got to read some of the box score on this is wild. Maple River scored 20 in the first quarter, 38 in the second quarter, 16 in the third, and 8 in the fourth. Tri-State had 14 in the first, 22 in the second, held them to 6 in the third quarter, and 16 in the fourth. Here are the scoring in the game. We had a 1-yard touchdown, 20-yard touchdown, 63-yard touchdown, 79-yard touchdown, 25-yard touchdown, 5-yard touchdown, 70-yard touchdown, 32-yard touchdown, 1-yard touchdown, 82-yard kickoff return, 6-yard run, 96-yard touchdown, 3-yard touchdown, 58-yard touchdown, 3-yard touchdown, 2-yard touchdown, 33-yard touchdown, 14-yard touchdown, and a 77-yard kickoff return to boot. That was the scoring in the game on Friday. 140 combined points. Just the stats in this is just hysterical. T. Sealing, 27 carries, 389 yards, 8 touchdowns. We got our Hot Mike fantasy draft coming up later. Can I get him? Carter Bosch, 9 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown. On the Tri-State side of things, their quarterback, Jackson Stevens, 12 of 19, 390 yards, 5 touchdowns. Why can't the Jets find players like him? Holy cow. That is why 9-man is so great. And I know Coach Fontaine's not thrilled at his defense, but that made the headlines, and it should. If it hasn't, because I know it's the holiday weekend, it'll pick up, I would imagine, today. Defensively, we had 2 sacks, 3 combined sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery. Nothing else should be said defensively. That was a tough day for everybody. What a wild, wild game. I wanted to make sure we highlighted that this morning on the show. We're overdue for a break. We got a couple other emails to catch up on. Reminder, Steve Lockway coming up at 10:35. Our Tuesday show rolls on. There's our poll question today with the DirecTV Disney dispute of how long you go without ESPN. We're back. Just a couple minutes.